Welcome back, it's Nine, and today I got a big video for you guys. We are going to be talking about a new PlayStation patent, probably one of the most interesting ones to come out recently. We are going to be talking about Control Ultimate Edition having better compression on the PS5, and lastly, we're going to be talking about a PlayStation blog post that goes over your year with PlayStation in their wrap-up 2020. I will share mine with you guys, and I would love for you guys to share your own as well in the comments. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now, let's get right into it, and starting with this patent that has come out. This article comes from GamingRoute.com, and it's titled PlayStation Patents AI-generated difficulty levels for boss fights. This is a really interesting one, guys. So last week, Sony Interactive Entertainment published a patent under the name Use of Machine Learning to Increase or Decrease Level of Difficulty in Beating Video Game Opponent. It means that an AI will automatically decrease the difficulty if you keep losing to a boss. It will increase if you win too easily. The exact description in a brief note says, machine learning is used to determine one or more video game players' ability to defeat a non-player video game opponent, such as a boss. The level of difficulty in beating the video game opponent may then be increased or decreased based on the player's ability to beat the video game opponent. In some examples, another player may then opt in to the increased or decreased level of difficulty, or may choose to play the video game without the increased or decreased level of difficulty. This is amazing. I love the idea of adding this because having difficulty is important, of course, but having scaling difficulty is optimal. That's what you want. If you really want the best experience with video games, at least for myself, if you come across, say, let's say a segment in a game and you're just getting your ass beat and it's just brutal, you know, instead of having to either in some cases, you know, just quit or start from the beginning to change difficulty, or switch the difficulty to easy or normal or whatever it may be to get past that segment, it'll automatically scale it for you, obviously still giving you the option to take in that scaling or change your mind about it. And so I think that's a great addition. Now, obviously, I'm sure they'll have other influences as well, like just like your normal, easy, normal, hard, or whatever. But I think this being an option is a great idea. So this being a thing, especially for Sony's games, which are very story-driven, majority of their games are driven by their narrative, right? So they're not like multiplayer games. They're mostly single-player experiences. So this actually makes sense to add a dynamic difficulty to it and something that adjusts as you continue through the game. And I love the idea of, if something's too easy as well, to give you an option to scale that up, as they'll say, hey, you know, you're getting through this pretty easily. Would you like to scale the difficulty? And I think that's another great addition as well. I really like the way they're innovating into their portfolio, right? Like the way they're working to their strengths, right? So they know that they have first-party experiences that are all narrative-driven, or majority of them are. Having the ability to scale difficulty to that makes a lot of sense, and I feel like that in itself would work in pretty much every game they've ever made. This could work for games like first-person shooters. This could work for racing games. This could work for adventure games. This could work for really any type of video game. So I think they are really getting ahead of this here to allow some sort of machine learning here. Very curious to see if this gets implemented. I'm very confident that this will be one of those things that does get used, because this makes a lot of sense. It'd be crazy not to do this if they are able to really execute it and do it right, which I think they would be able to do. Now on to our next topic, and this comes from Twisted Voxel, and it's titled Control Ultimate Edition is 42% smaller on PS5 than Xbox Series X thanks to better compression tech. Very interesting. So PS5's Control download file is 25.79 gigabytes, and the Xbox Series X weighs in roughly at 42.4 gigs, and on the Xbox One, 42.1 gigs, and this is due to better decompression technique that is available on the PS5. And if you guys remember, with that Mark Cerny entire press briefing that he had, you know, when he was talking about what's in the PS5, when he was talking about all the technology that they've worked in there and what everything does, this is what he meant. This is what he meant by the ability to compress and decompress data. It's just shows right here. This is a great example of it. And I've always thought that, you know, Mark Cerny was very intelligent. Obviously, you know, I can't even begin to understand everything that he was pointing out. And a lot of us actually are finding out that, whoa, he was saying some crazy stuff. And a lot of us were just falling asleep at the screen because we didn't, like, it was just going over our heads, right? Because we're the audience that just plays the games and we enjoy the games. We're not too keen on learning about or too knowledgeable on all the terms that are around the console and game development and everything. So it's really nice to see that, in fact, he was saying something really important and he was pointing out some great points. And now we're finally seeing like some tangible evidence here that we're understanding that, hey, this is crazy. This is such a smaller download file compared to the competition, right? And so it's nice to see that. And I wonder how this will fare for other games. Is this just going to be one case of it, or are we going to see this across the board going forward? We'll see. Only time will tell. But I'm really happy to see that, in fact, that smaller, you know, SSD is not necessarily a bad thing, because Sony just knew what they were doing. Mind you, I'm not complaining. I would love to have had more space, but, you know, given what we were given at launch, it's not so bad when we're seeing a 42% smaller download file on PS5. So we'll see what happens. But on to our next topic, and this is probably my favorite topic of the entire thing that we're talking about in this video, and it comes from PlayStation Blog, and it's titled "Celebrate Your Gaming Year with PlayStation Wrap-Up 2020." You get a free dynamic theme available for PS4 players to commemorate your 2020 journey, and it says, just briefly, through March 2nd, 2021, PS4 players can access their PlayStation 2020 wrap-up report and share their details with others, including trophies earned, top played games, play hours, and more. If you are a PS4 player and also played on PS5 in 2020, you can see a few general stats from your PS5 experience. This is more about the PS4 and seeing what your statistics are there. So I want to share mine with you guys because it's very interesting to me. Last year, you know, I talked about this, I covered it and shared it with you guys. So it'll be nice to go over this again. So let's take a look at just what my stats look like. So the number of games I played in 2020 were 43 different games. Top 3, number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare at 79 hours. Yeah, I know. Call of Duty, the thing was, I love the game. I don't really play COD that much, but Modern Warfare got me back in, and I really did enjoy it. Played with a lot of friends. Number 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake at 71 hours. Number 3, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot at 45 hours. RPG was my top genre, obviously. Top genre hours, 161. My total hours of gameplay in 2020 was 510 hours. To me, that's a lot. I'm a very busy guy. I got a full-time job, got a family. So for me, 510 hours is pretty crazy, for me at least. Hours played locally, 436 hours. 85% of my time was played locally, obviously campaigns and single-player experiences. Hours played online, 74, which is basically just Call of Duty. Days played in 2020, 212 days I played. Evenings on Sundays was my top day of the week. It makes sense. That's kind of when I have the most time on my hands. My second most played day was Saturday. Obviously, again, that's when I had most time on my hands. And then it went Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday, Thursday was my lowest played day. Now, my total trophies earned in 2020 was 222. I got 2 platinum trophies, 15 gold, 41 silver, and 164 bronze. Just to point out, guys, I'm not really a trophy hunter. If I really like a game, I might go for it and try to get every trophy, but typically that's not really something I go for. I just enjoy the game, and then if I pop some trophies along the road, that's great. And lastly, it says, congratulations, 9. In 2020, you entered the future of gaming with PlayStation 5. My top PS5 game was Demon's Souls. 34 hours on there. Total PS5 gameplay hours, 67. Total PS5 trophies, 85 trophies, which is actually quite surprising. I didn't realize I got that many trophies on the PS5, considering I haven't had it that long. So that's my wrap up of 2020 for me on the PlayStation Network. Please share yours with me in the comments. Let me know what your top played games are, how many hours, all that good stuff. And that's really all I have in today's video for you guys. I'd love to hear from you about this new PlayStation patent about AI-generated difficulty levels for boss fights and just in general AI-generated difficulty scaling. How do you feel about that? And what do you think of this decompression and compression tech that the PS5 has that's made downloads 42% smaller on the PS5 than Xbox Series X? And again, share your wrap-up of 2020 on the PlayStation Network with me in the comments. As always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, hit the like button, it helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch, links will be in the description, and share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.